Good afternoon, students. So today's lesson will be based on poems. We're going to do poetry for this whole week, and I hope you guys may be excited because poetry is one of the most interesting things. So here I have a copies actually, of the poems that we're going to be focusing on, and I'll just give them out just now so that you can all see what I'm reading for you as I read. So the poem that we're going to be focusing about today is From Above by Kale Young Rice. So you need to know, before you read a poem, make sure that you understand the title of that poem. Understanding it means you read it so that you know what it may mean or what it may lead to. So don't just read the title and just the author and say, oh, okay. Just read for understanding. So the poem goes, title is From Above, Kale Young Rice. What do I care if the trees are bare, and the hills are dark, and the skies are grey? What do I care for the chill in the air, for crows that cock and a rough wind's way? What do I care for the dead leaves there, or the sullen road by the sullen wood? There's heart in my heart to bear my load, so enough the day is good. So what we are particularly going to be focusing on today is identifying the lines in a poem, identifying the rhyme and the rhythm. So I'm going to go through each line, analyzing all these aspects. We will move along so that you can understand what poetry is all about. Before we can even go any further, I just want you to give you guys 2 minutes, 3 minutes, so that you can read through the poems that I just gave you guys, and then take out your dictionaries and maybe write those words down on your notebook, and if you don't understand them, write them down and then the explanation. You can pair yourselves into two, or you can work individually. It's up to you, but I prefer you guys work as maybe a pair so that you can discuss the words properly. And then I also have a spare dictionary for anyone who might not have bought their dictionaries. So you can just come and take a dictionary so that you can check out the words, and then we can move forward. I'm giving you roughly 3, 4, 5 minutes to do that, and I'll be making rounds to see how far you guys are going and what exactly are you guys doing. It's not a lot, so your time is up. I went through most of you guys, the words that you chose, and then I noticed that you're in the right track. And some of the words that I got past, which most of you had, was crows and the word sullen. And the word crows in the dictionary, right? It said it is a large perching bird. You know those big birds that makes this loud, raucous noise? Yeah, they have this, like, they're so loud whenever they just make noise. It's unbearable. And then the other word was sullen, which is having a bad temper and being sulky. So with that being said, we're done with that. We'll get into the content now, and I will explain the entire poem with everything that I said. As mentioned, we are going to look at the poetic forms. We are going to look at this poem specifically, and as I said, you need to understand the poem through its title. So when we are talking about a poetic form, we are looking at how a poem is structured through 4 things, namely stanza, line, rhythm, and rhyme. So we are going to look at this poem with these 4 things right here. So please take out your highlighters so that you can highlight as I explain. Okay, so the first thing we are going to talk about is the word line. So when we talk about lines, we talk about this, what I've just highlighted. So in this poem, we have 3, 6, 9, 12 lines from above. Okay, so that is easy enough to understand. Now, the next one that we're going to look at is the stanza. gonna use a different highlighter. A stanza is a group of lines before a break. So here we have 3 breaks between the stanzas. So this right here is stanza 1. This right here is stanza 2. This right here is stanza 3. And this one here is stanza 4. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 stanzas in this poem, and we have 12 lines. So that is basically part of the poem form. The next 2 parts are a little bit trickier. So we are gonna first talk about the rhythm using a different highlighter, which is red. You know when there is a song and there is a certain rhythm it follows? So let's look at the first line. So looking at all these lines, we're gonna look at how the first line shows the rhythm, right? So it's quite easy for you to notice them, because now the line says, what do I care if the streets are bare? Then what and care are stressed. Then do and I are unstressed. Well, it's a little bit tricky for you to understand, but it's not that important, but I just wanted to show you guys how it is stressed and it is unstressed. So this is, you can do a rhythm with, so that there is a structure rhythm in this poem with what I've just noted down there. There's a structure of a poem, and then this is what we're gonna name the rhythm, right? Let's move on to the rhyme. Now this one is different from the rhythm, right? Because when words rhyme, they sound the same. So how you can find this is by looking at the first line and jumping onto the second stanza and look at the first line. So with that being said, let's look at this one. What do I care if the trees are bare and the hills are dark and the skies are gray? Now there's no rhythm there. Now let's go to stanza 2. What do I care for the chill in the air? Now air rhymes with bay, so you're gonna name it A, and then the second one you're gonna name it A, so they rhyme together. And the hills are dark for the crows that cock. Now it's B, and the cock is B. A, so the rhythm is A and B, and then the skies are gray as the rough winds away. Then it's C, and then it's C. So as you can see, the third stanza, what do I care for the dead leaves there, or the silent road by the silent wood? Wood rhymes with good, but look, what do I care for the dead leaves there? There does not rhyme with heart. So the poet is breaking the rhythm scheme. So these do not rhyme together. It's plainly doing it just so they can just break the rhyming scheme. So this is what we call the rhyme. So please be careful with the rhyme and the rhythm. So these are just the 4 main parts of the structure of a poem. Now at the end of the poem, you can see that there's a part that says analyzing poetic forms. So there are 4 questions which I need you guys to answer, and I'm going to give you guys a few minutes so that we can do corrections and see how far you understand. Now the first question says, how many stanzas does this poem have? It has 4. How many lines are in each stanza? So you're going to count, it's 3. Do any of the lines rhyme? Yes, they do rhyme. And then you indicate the rhyming scheme, ABC, ABC. And the last one, do the sentences always at the end of the lines? No, they don't. That's why, as you can see, what do I care for the chill in the air, for crowds that cock at the rough winds away, and then there's a full stop. So it does not cut at the first line. So it goes through until the end of the line. So the answer is no. So as I said, these are just a few simple questions that you can use to understand the poetic forms of a poem, right? So I hope that you guys understood this, as I think it was easy. And if there's anything else with regards to the questions, you can ask away. That was a fun activity, right? Yes. So with that being said, I was happy that most of you had correct answers and understand how to analyze a poem, how to look for the stanzas, see the lines, the rhythm, and the rhyme. Now I have another poem for you, which you will go home and read and analyze again and answer questions. There are questions at the end. You will answer these questions pertaining that tomorrow. If you still don't understand or have a problem with poems, you can come to me after school so that I can help you, and then we can work through whatever that you don't understand. Thank you for your time, and I will see you guys tomorrow.